again to talk to you about sports. I have a wonderful guest. Actually, I have three wonderful guests for us. I have the coach from Texas Southern softball team along with two of her players. And we have some fantastic facts to give you about the TSU softball team. Not that they just won the Western Division, but some other tidbits that you'd like to hear. And before we get started, I'm gonna say what I always do, and that is I'd like for you guys to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and smash that bell. Because what happens is you'll be notified every time a show drops. Okay? Now, Facebook family, I appreciate you. And first of all, I want to say I appreciate my YouTube family also, which this show is on. So, but we've gone from a small amount of viewers to a decent amount of viewers. And so I am greatly appreciative of it. So, but what I'm going to do today is start off like as I always do, start off with my HBCUs. Let me put my glasses on so I can give you the right information. Okay, first of all, quite naturally, I'm going to start with my school. Sorry about that, my show, so I can do it the way I want to. Today's episode is sponsored by two of my first sponsors that I greatly appreciate. Dr. Phyllis Morgan, a dentist located on Stella Link. Also, Gerald Womack, a developer located here in 3rd Ward, Texas. These are two great people that have come aboard. And all you other listeners that are contemplating maybe getting your name out of your business, give us a thought and a shout. You can always email me at fatlarrypodcast@gmail.com. fatlarrypodcast@gmail.com. This is how these two individuals got in touch with me. TSU golf women and men have won the SWAC championship. They are currently in the NCAA tournament. Let me see where they are. They're in Pennsylvania, outside of Philadelphia. The women and the men are both in 6th place as we speak today. Pretty good showing because they're not playing other SWAC schools or other HBCU schools. They're up against University of Houston, Stanford, all these other good golfing colleges. Okay? And so, let me go back. I try to start my show sometimes by giving a shout out to people. I want to give a shout out to Oliver Gregg, who played baseball with me at Texas Southern. I spoke with him about 10 days ago, and he just rang the bell. Hopefully you people out there know what ring the bell means. He's been fighting his cancer situation, and he got word that everything is fine. So this show goes out to Oliver. I told him I was going to dedicate the show to him, so here we go, Wimp. And he knows that's his nickname, Wimp, okay? The other person I want to dedicate the show to is Ralph Cooper, the legend. Ralph Cooper is a radio sports show host here in Houston, Texas. Once again, this is where the show is hosted, in Houston. And he's been inducted into the Texas Radio Hall of Fame. And I'd like to send my flowers to Ralph, let him know a great accomplishment. Okay, moving back to sports. TSU also has just hired a volleyball coach. The new coach is Alexis Austin, and she comes from Liberty University. She's actually a native Houstonian that played professional volleyball in Poland, and she last coached at one more time, Liberty University. She played at Colorado University, All-American. So Texas Southern has stepped his game up in the volleyball. Then we have TSU track will be at the SWAC championships in PV Friday and Saturday. As I always tell people, if you can and you have time, try to help these universities by going out and buying a ticket and going to the event. You know, every dollar helps. As I always say on my show, it's all about the money. You know, so every little dollar helps. And we're going to get into that farther when we talk with the coach, one of my guests. So TSU is going to Prairie View for not only TSU, all the SWAC schools will be there. So it should be a great event. So everyone in Houston that's listening to the show, Get in your car, spend an hour, go up to PV, and watch the schools. And Houston is a hotbed for all of the SWAC schools. There's not one SWAC school that doesn't have a Houston Alumni Association. They all locate right here in Houston. So you get opportunity, go out and help Prairie View in the SWAC by attending the track meet. It'd be greatly appreciated. Also, the TSU baseball team is in town this weekend. They're going to be at McGregor Park, and they are playing Alcorn. Texas Southern needs that series so they can get a good seeding into the tournament. And so I'm looking for TSU to do well against Alcorn. So one more time, Friday the game is generally at 5, Saturday it's at 3, and Sunday it's at 1. I'll probably be at the game Saturday and possibly Sunday. So once again, go out and show the team that you care. And McGregor is free. So there's no excuse for not coming out and enjoying the game and getting them behind the kids and letting them know that you appreciate their effort. Bowling, TSU bowling. This is the first time I spoke about bowling. But they lost in the second round. But still, they had a good year. My daughter has made sure that I always talk about women's sports. You know, she started getting on me about 4 or 5 shows ago. I need to make sure every other show I have a male on, make sure I have a female on the next one. So I'm listening to her, because if not, she'll wear me to death. So we're going here to TSU softball. Now, well, I'm going to say TSU softball for later, because I'm going to be preaching to the choir in just a moment. New coaches in the SWAC. Let's go over that first. Mississippi Valley State has hired George Ivory as their new basketball coach. He was UAPB's basketball coach 2 years ago. But he is an alumni of Mississippi Valley State, and they talked him out of coming out of retirement. Alabama A&M has a new coach, Otis Hughley. Last coached in the NBA as an assistant. So they upgraded real well. Alabama State has a new basketball coach, Tony Matlock, who came from South Carolina State. Now, Mr. Matlock did a great job with South Carolina State. They won twice the amount of games this first year than they did the prior year. And they went into the second round of the tournament. So it looks like Alabama State is getting a pretty good basketball coach also. Mississippi Valley names Kimberly Anderson their head basketball coach. She last coached at Lane. And I anticipate her. She did real well at Lane College. So the SWAC is upgrading. All these schools are upgrading their coaching staff. So it's not easy to win in the SWAC. People looking outside in, if they watch these games on TV, be it baseball, basketball, softball, or football with the major schools, they have a tendency to think that SWAC and these lower tier schools don't have the athletes or the players, but that's a straight up lie. These people have good athletes in every level of play. So you have Mississippi Valley, once again, Kimberly Anderson. And I want to give a shout out to Coach Prime at Jackson State. As all my listeners know, since I've been doing this show, that I'm one of his strongest backers. You know, even though he's at JSU, a lot of people initially were saying that he's getting too much airtime. Jackson State gets this, Jackson State gets that. Yeah, they get it because Coach Prime is working the system. And as I've said before in the past, all these coaches need to do the same thing. Get out and let these people know what your school is doing. Ask. We talked last year about Coach Prime got Michael Strahan, a TSU alum, to buy the jackets and the suits for Jackson State. And we said that, hey, don't get mad at him. The coach at Texas Southern needs to ask Michael to do the same thing. You know, he's not just going to do it. Coach Prime asked him to do it. Guess what happened? McKinney evidently, or Kevin Granger, the athletic director, evidently must have asked Michael. You know what Michael did? He bought him the suits. So this is what I'm saying. You have to get out and ask people. How do you know a kid won't consider going to Texas Southern, Jackson State, or Southern unless you ask them? You know, you got to at least ask them. And so Coach Prime is now pledging his support to Mississippi Valley. They have a campaign for a new practice football field. He went to visit the head coach there, Dancy. He and Dancy are good friends. Dancy took him to the practice field and he said, wait a minute, this is what y'all practice on? He said, no, we got to do better than that. So this is why I try to tell people all the time, Dion is about the swag. Don't get upset with him for getting things for Jackson State. That's his job, to get things for Jackson State. You need to piggyback off of it and get that shine that Dion is putting on the swag and make it advantageous for you. And that's what needs to happen.
Fall in love with taking care of yourself, mind, body, and spirit. Shop Rose Gold Spa today.
I bet you Dancy gets a new football field of practice from Mississippi Valley once Dion starts calling people and asking them to help. So it's all about, you can't be scared. You have to, as the kids say, scared. You have to go in and ask the people, okay? And just about finished, because like I say, I want to spend most of my time with my guests. I know she's busy, and the young ladies are getting ready to try to win the SWAC to win the SWAC softball championship. Put a lot of pressure on them then, didn't it? Basketball portal. The next show, I'm going to try to have Coach Jones on to see what the status is on the basketball portal. I just found out that there's a softball portal. So we're going to have the coach discuss that in just a moment. NFL draft choices. The SWAC had 4 people get drafted. Last year they had none. Once again, Coach Prime said that it makes no sense that NFL drafted 260 some odd players and not one person out of the SWAC was worthy in their estimation to being drafted. See, but all that changed this year. And this is one more time why I'm in Dion's, Coach Prime. He likes to be called Coach Prime's corner. But anyway, Coach Prime got 4 players. Not necessarily he got them, the players did, but still, he raised plenty hell last year and 4 players got drafted. Guard out of Southern University, Carter, went to the Bears. James Houston from Jackson State went to Detroit Lions. And Cowboys got Marquise Bell out of FAMU. Now, he wasn't drafted, but as soon as the draft was over, the Cowboys went and got him and paid him a high amount of money for guaranteed for an undrafted free agent. That means that they just call and ask you, hey, you want to come and try out for the team? So he's not only getting a tryout, but he's getting $200,000 guaranteed plus $15,000 signing bonus. That just goes to show what Dion was saying. They know these guys are qualified, but they get them on the cheap when they don't draft. So, but anyway, going to basketball right quick. And you know, basketball, I haven't been talking a lot about it since my Lakers are gone on vacation, gone swimming, gone fishing. That's what they say on the NBA show, gone fishing. And trust me, I catch grief every day. That's because most of my buddies know I'm a Laker fan, and they call and ask me where my Lakers at. I said, we about in Cancun right along now fishing. So, Suns versus Dallas. I think the Suns are going to win that series. Golden State versus Memphis. I think Golden State is going to win that, but Memphis is going to be a hard out. Bucks are playing Celtics. That's a toss-up to me. Good game last night. This show is taped today on Wednesday. The game was Tuesday night. 76ers versus Miami Heat. I think the Heat going to have too much for them. And in the NFL draft, I'm going to talk for a second about the Texans because they the Texans. Stingley, the defensive back from LSU, Green, the guard from Texas A&M. I want to talk just about those 2. Local kid from Texas A&M became a second draft choice, and Stingley, the DB out of LSU, should start immediately. So I think that is just about all because, like I said, I wanted to give most of my time to my guests, and they're busy and they're getting ready to go and spank some butt in the tournament. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce to my YouTube family the head coach for the TSU softball team, Coach Rodriguez. How you doing, Coach?
I'm good. Thank you for having us. We really appreciate you bringing this on. We're excited to be here today.
Great. Coach, I read the information online about the TSU softball team. Would you please tell my audience what I could not even believe? How many times have TSU won the SWAC divisional championship in softball?
Going on this year, it's going to be our 12th time in a row winning our division on the west side.
Public. Maybe you didn't hear that correctly, but they have won 12 consecutive Western Division championships in softball. I mean, I got to give the softball program their flowers. I have to. Now, Coach is in her first year. I only said that not to say demean her for not being part of the other 11, but just to show you how she just kept the train going. Coach, was your team fixed like that, or did you have some new players come in to help keep the train going?
We did have some new players come in to help keep the train going, but it's just been a process from the years prior of just the build up every single year and the kids setting a certain tradition and setting things a certain way and knowing that when they come in, we expect to win and we expect to compete at a high level. And so it's just something that's been carried on every single year, and that's what I wanted to come in and continue doing, is bringing in kids that are going to compete at a high level and challenge each other to win some games.
Okay. Give us some background on you, then we're going to ask these young ladies. And matter of fact, these some beautiful young ladies, and it's hard to believe they're athletes. You know, but go ahead and tell us a background on you, where you from, where you went to high school, where you went to college, and how you got into coaching.
So I'm from Houston. I'm from the area around. I went to Waltrip High School.
Oh, okay.
On the north side, and then I went to University of Texas at Tyler in East Texas. So I played softball over there for 4 years, and then after that, I coached for a season at TJC, Tyler Junior
What
College.
conference is TJ? Not TJC, your conference, your 4-year school. What conference is that? Red River or something?
No, we were in the ASC.
What is that?
It was we were Division III.
Division III. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So played there for 4 years, and then I coached for a spring season to help out over there at Tyler Junior College, and then whenever I wanted to come back to Houston, I got in contact with Coach Barker. He was the head coach before me, and asked if he was looking for a graduate assistant, and my luck, he was looking for someone, and he brought me on, and he was the one that kind of opened the doors for me and gave me my first opportunity.
So you knew Coach Barker prior to coming here?
Yes, I did. He recruited me going into college as well.
Oh, okay.
He recruited me, and he kept in contact with me. My cousin, Jasmine Hutchinson, she played at Texas Southern in the softball program, and then she went through the graduate assistant, and she was also the assistant here as well.
U2 family, I was trying to get in touch with Coach to make sure she was able to, because I know it's the middle softball season, and so I was only able to contact her assistant. I wasn't able to get her here today because I wanted the players, but I am going to have her here. Can you give me your assistant's name and where she's from? I know because she told me, but go ahead and let the audience know.
It's Jessica Scroggins. Yeah. She played at Baylor. She was an All-American over there. She played a little bit professionally too, and then she's originally from California.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, this young lady right here, let's introduce her, and then we're going to ask her some questions.
This is Tevene Tate. She's going on her 5th year here at Texas Southern. She's in the process of getting her master's right now. She's been our center fielder since her freshman year.
Center fielder?
Yes.
Hey, my position. Center fielder, okay. This young lady here.
And then this is Julia Bilbao. She's kind of about the same as Tevene. She's in her 5th year as well, and she's in the process of getting her master's. And she's been she played right field starting off and then moved her to left field, but she's been a starter for since her freshman year as well.
Wow. Once again, started when I was a freshman.
Yeah.
I know y'all don't want to hear that, but hey, I'm putting it there anyway. One more time, this is my show. Okay, so you started when you was a freshman. That is great. Okay, and where are you from?
I'm from Houston, Texas. I went to Nimitz High School in the Aldine area, and I've been here at Texas Southern ever since.
What level of success did your high school softball team achieve?
So we went to the playoffs every year, but we just never made it past that first round.
Who y'all playing, like Kingwood and people of that nature?
Like the Cypress area kind of schools.
Okay, yeah, because they got some good teams out there.
Mm-hmm.
Good teams out there. And where did you go to school at?
I'm from Austin. I went to Rouse High School. We went, like Julia said, into the playoffs every year. We went like 2 or 3 rounds deep, but we never really got past that. And then
Is that ROUSE?
yes,
Okay, where is that located? I've seen that name.
it's in
before.
Leander, Texas.
Oh, that's why I seen it. My niece
Yeah.
lives out there. Now, Coach, what is your team's philosophy? Because basketball can be run and shoot or tight D, trap zone. What is the philosophy? What do you have a philosophy on yourself other than just get up and hit the ball?
I think the big thing right now that we're kind of we've been saying so often is being consistent and making sure that we come out and we are consistent in our at-bats and consistent in being successful. So if they go with that first at-bat and they're seeing the ball well and they're hitting it well, let's make sure we carry it over and not regress and take steps back. We want them to stay consistent on defense. Because if we continue to do that, then we're successful in the long end. So it's not so much of get in there, hit a home run, and that's how we're going to win. It's more so start smaller, be consistent, make our adjustments, and we're going to be successful when we do that.
Defense travels. It'll keep you in the game.
Yeah, 100%.
It'll keep you in the game. Okay, now, what was the toughest loss so far this year that you think y'all had, that you think y'all should have won?
I would say our loss against Southern.
Southern?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that dreaded.
We went deep. It shouldn't have been like how deep we had to go, but it was like tit for tat, and then just a few hits on their part, and then into the ITB. Like they ended up having the advantage and ended up winning. But
Now that's that game. Now what about the series? Did they win the series too?
no, we won.
Man, that's okay. That's good. What was your most disappointing game where you felt like you could have pulled them through? Because there's plenty of them for me that I was at bat that I was if I could just sacrifice fly. You know what I'm saying?
Probably where I could have pulled them through.
You have not been in a tense situation where the game is depending, well, not the game, but the flow of the game is depending on what you do at that at bat. You haven't been in that position yet?
I feel like there's so many
Yeah,
at
so
bats.
many of them.
Just like they're all
What's the last one? Now, somebody got a hit to walk off against a corn last week. Friday.
Tamara, it was
Okay, yeah, Tamara. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Like that. You ever had to have a walk off?
I've had a walk off.
Oh, yeah, why you couldn't think of your
Well,
walk
as we won the games, when I was at bat, we didn't. I'm like thinking of a loss. I couldn't think of a loss where I was at bat.
Oh, okay. I got you. I did say that.
Yeah.
My bad. Okay. When's your last walk off?
Last walk off was against Southern when we played at home.
Okay, now that loss where you thought you could have won, was that at home against Southern
No,
too?
it was away.
That was that Southern.
Yeah,
So we won the series there. What about here? Did we win?
We swept them.
We
we
this
didn't
time.
let them win again.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, that was Southern was a heated rivalry when we played baseball too. Well, down the road,
Down the
was always a heated rivalry. Okay, now speaking of that, who do you foresee in the upcoming softball tournament next week to be your biggest nemesis or someone that you got? Probably everyone, but I'm just trying to say right now, who do you think? If I'm not mistaken, who is leading? You guys are leading the West, and Bethune-Cookman's leading the East.
right.
So we all get together with top 8 teams and win for the championship?
Yes.
Okay, so 4 from each division. Okay. Okay, so have you seen Bethune?
We've seen film of Bethune. We haven't been able to see them at all, like in person, or play them at all. So that's going to be the
Right.
big thing, is we only see each other at the tournament, and so it's just making sure that we're prepared on our end and I think since they are the number one, we've been watching. They are a very talented team. That would be a good matchup for us to compete with them.
May I ask you a question? That is that on this tournament now, are they going to East or going to the winner from the East bracket is going to play the winner from the West? Or will y'all mix it up?
They mix it. So we will play the number 4 seed on the East side. So our first game would be against FAMU right now.
Okay.
And then Bethune would play the number 4 on our side.
Which is J State, right? Jackson State?
No, that right now they're not done yet.
Okay.
They're in the process of finishing out their series, actually probably as we're speaking.
Right.
So
I saw that and I saw
exciting.
Wednesday. I thought that was a typo. I'm like, they don't play on Wednesday. But,
It was a makeup week, so
okay.
it was a makeup. Yeah, it was probably a rain out, and they had to reschedule for this week to finish it. So they're battling right now, Grambling and Alcorn for that 4th seed.
Okay. And what position in the lineup do you bat?
I play left field and then I bat 9th right now.
9th? And you?
I usually bat around 6 or 7.
6 or 7?
Yeah, 5, 6 or 7.
Okay, yeah, I'm about right like low in there too, about right on 5 or 6.
They move around a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it just depends on what the coach feels that particular day. Why she feel that, and if someone is hot.
Yes.
Yeah, I know I was sick and we were playing Jackson State, but I still went on the trip. I had to have some allergies. I don't have that. I was just itching. I couldn't play and what have you. And the guy was doing a no-hitter. And coach came up and said, "Nah, we're going to stop this no-hitter. Go in there and pinch it." Coach, I'm like, it's like the 6th inning. We played for 7 and I got a hit. And all guys, and I could hear all the guys telling me, "Yeah, stop your no-hitter, didn't it? That's your no-hitter." And the guy after the game was like, "Why you didn't play the whole game?" I said, "I'm supposed to be sick." So what have you, when you thought you was at the end of your rope, your ankle was twisted and what have you done? Have you ever caught a ball after you thought you were hurt to save a run or two, or walked up to the plate and got a hit?
I could say I've done a little bit of both, but I feel like this season more so it's been my offense rather than my defense. I've had a few clutch hits, some home runs to put us ahead and stuff. So.
Did you hit a home run Friday against Coleman? That was you? Oh, okay. All right, I was there. And you, what, have you been injured and you just gutted it out and made a hellacious catch, or bases are loaded or 2 runners on and some type of way you got it done?
Yeah, not so much hurt this season. Last season I had a hurt hamstring, so just keep playing throughout it. And it was towards the end of the season, so just making sure that I was healthy throughout the SWAC tournament.
I know you had it wrapped tight. That's for sure. I've had one of those. You just wrap it so tight that you can't feel it. Because you don't want that thing to pop again. You know what I'm saying? It's terrible. Coach, we talked off camera about the success of the softball team, and I apologize for not knowing about it. Well, family, I apologize because I call myself a sports person, and I find out that I'm sitting right here with a university that has won 12 consecutive titles. 12. I mean, that's. I keep saying it because that's not an easy task to complete 12. And one more time, I don't want to get them so lathered up they walk out of here and tomorrow when they go play they can't catch the cold. You know what I'm saying? But I want to give them their flowers. Mr. Womack is the broker and president and CEO of Womack Development Investment Realtors, a private minority-owned full-service commercial and residential real estate brokerage firm. Over the years, he has been known to be a respected community businessman and partner and has received many awards. Now, he sells real estate everywhere, but this specialty is right here in 3rd Ward. This guy can get it taken care of for you. Coach, where do you guys practice at?
So we practice at City Gas Park. It's a city field by the Comcast? PNC Stadium. It is. It's about, I want to say, like 8 minutes away from the school. It's right in the middle of a neighborhood.
Okay. Now, most of the schools have a park on their campus that they play at?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I want to say all of them in the SWAC have their own facilities. Right now, we So we practice at City Gas Park, but then we play our games at Memorial.
Okay.
So we practice and play at two different fields. I think the big thing was we had a cage on campus, and so our athletic director, Mr. Granger, and Madam President, they were big advocating this year on getting our cages redone and covered. And so with their help in pushing that ahead, we were able to get that, which was big for us. So instead of running out of areas to kind of hit when it's raining, we've been able to still practice and do what we need to do in the cages when the weather's been bad. But that's our biggest thing, is getting moved to campus for them.
Coach, I don't know you personally, but with the obstacles you have to overcome and coach this team and still have in the position they're in, you have the patience of Job, I would imagine. Because there's so many people that find nothing but excuses. If you're losing, and they say, well, what do you expect? We don't have a practice field, we don't have this, we don't have that, but you guys just continue to win. And TSU family, I think there's something we should be able to do about that. Coach has told me that there's one particular person that is really stuck, put their mouth where their money is. Did I say that right?
I think so.
Did I say?
Put their money where their mouth is.
Okay, let me retract that. They put their money where their mouth is. Coach, y'all have to listen to me now, so that if I'm doing wrong, just wave me down and tell me that, hey, Rose, I think you meant that the other way. Because we can take this off. Okay. But anyway, I think we should do something about this. And Coach, anybody that wants to pledge something to the TSU softball team, how would they go about doing that?
I'm contacting me or sending me an email would be a big step with that, and emailing me and kind of getting in contact and seeing kind of what maybe we need more so with practice and kind of what the girls need. I think that was our biggest thing, is when we fundraise, we try to fundraise to try and get equipment that the girls need to make sure that they're practicing with the things that any other big school out there is practicing with, to make sure that they're successful. Being with that we practice at a city field, we don't let that be an excuse for us. In our eyes, a field is a field. So we can go out there and get defense work and hit. We're not going to make excuses about it, and I think that's the biggest thing that our girls are good about, is they don't ever complain about it. I think they come in knowing that we practice at a city field, and they're going to come in and work just as hard. Yeah. They don't let that be a crutch for them, and then and make an excuse of why we lose. I think that's just a big thing on how we've won 12 consecutive years, is that they've never used that as an excuse. They've always put the work in and extra work in to come in and do what they need to do.
One more time. Coach is going to give us her email address, so that if you are interested in helping the girls, let me take that away, the TSU softball team in any shape, fashion, or form, hit her up and let her know what you'd like to do, or give her your name and number. She'll contact you and let you know how you can help her. Matter of fact, Coach, I want you to give them that information again. Go slow, because you might have some older people like myself that, got a little problem hearing. Okay.
So if you want to reach me on my email, it's going to be Raven, RAVEN, .Rodriguez, RODRIGUEZ, at tsu.edu.
One more time.
It's Raven.Rodriguez at tsu.edu. RAVEN .Rodriguez, RODRIGUEZ, at tsu.edu.
And do you have a telephone number they could contact? If they miss you, they can leave a message?
Yes, I do. And then if you do leave a message, just make sure, say your name and kind of, so that way I can give you a call back if I do miss it. It will be 832-341-4582.
One more time.
832-341-4582.
See, you getting ready to go on a job. They're going to teach you that when you get communicating with a customer. Have them say it twice, so make sure that you got it. Or either if you're talking to someone, have them say it twice. Okay, so what I want to know from you, young lady, is We're getting ready to play. Do we have another game, a series, or we done?
Mhm.
And so we already know who we're gonna play, right?
Yes.
And we're gonna be playing the SWAC championship tournament where?
We're gonna be playing at Gulfport, Mississippi.
Gulfport, Mississippi, and that starts when?
First games are on Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Okay, so next Tuesday in Gulfport, Mississippi, if you're in the area, and we have some TSU alum in that area, go out, bag the young ladies, show them that we care. But the number one thing I want you guys to do, listening audience to do, is let's reward these young ladies for 12 years of stellar performance. Call coach, email coach, ask her what is it that you can do to help the program. She was just telling me a little earlier, well, we need things like balls. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this giving off today by writing a check for $130 to coach so that if nothing else, the young ladies can practice with some balls. And I don't think this is a whole bunch I'm doing, but coach said the smallest thing that can be done to help us is, give us some balls. So I jumped on that real fast. Now if she'd asked for a pitching machine or something like that, I'd probably say, hey, let me call Kevin and see what he can do. Kevin Granger, that is athletic director. But I want to start off by showing the coach that I greatly appreciate because I'm not the athletic director, but I'm a graduate of Texas Southern University. So just like I was complimenting Dion about giving shine to the SWAC, everything these young ladies do, they give shine to TSU, because some of you people never attended a game. If you hear that TSU swept somebody in softball, won national championship, the first thing you're going to say, that's my school. So show your school that you appreciate them. So coach, what I want to do is give you a check for $100 and make sure I didn't put too many zeros on this check. That's what Granger was trying to do when he was over here 6 months ago, making me put another zero on there. Coach, that's for the girls, for the women's softball team. And I know it's just a small token, but I want to at least know that you guys got some balls to practice.
Thank you. We really appreciate it. I mean, a small token's going to go a lot further than none at all. So we really appreciate this donation. It's going to help them.
And one more time, I want you to call Coach or email her and say this is for Julia. I want you to call Coach or email her and say this is for Tevene. I like the way she said it. I could have said it, but I just like the way she says Tevene. So, do you see us still maintaining this pace next year? When I say that, we spoke about transfer portal earlier. Mm-hmm. Is the transfer portal something that might be kind to us this offseason also?
I think so. I think with just the transfer portal, it's such an unpredictable thing. Every time you look into it, you're not sure who you're going to see in there. And so it's helped us in the past. And so I think that's something that if we are in need of something or someone's name pops up that we see that could help us, we are able to reach out to them and see if they're interested in coming to our program and helping us continue to grow and continue to win more and more games.
Great. Now, we've talked about ball with the young ladies, their positions, what they've done, what they've achieved. But this is the biggest achievement. Julia, will you tell the listening audience what you have an undergraduate degree in and what you're currently doing with your master's program?
Yeah, so I got my undergrad in sports management with the concentration in business, and right now I'm working on my master's. I have one more semester of that, and I'll be getting my master's in sports studies and sports leadership.
Okay. Tell the TSU family if you have a potential job set up or not.
Yeah, so I do have a job set up right after I'm done with softball. I'll be working full-time with the Houston Dynamo as their event services coordinator.
Fantastic, man. And Tevene, what is going on with you? Tell the listening audience where we are on undergraduate and master's studies.
I graduated my undergraduate with a major in business management. And now I'm also doing my master's in sports leadership and sports studies. And I'm in my first semester now, and I'm looking to do internships these upcoming semesters.
Fantastic, man. See, that's what's important. That's what's important. I know when I came out of school, and my deal was I was going to become a pro and buy my mother a house and do all this kind of stuff. But what happens is, by shooting for the moon, you fall amongst the stars. By coming to college, breaking my ankle and realizing that that wasn't going to happen, I decided since I'm here, I might as well go to class and get my degree, business management. It's like you. So that is a great accomplishment already. So these ladies are SWAC champs and got their degrees in hand already. I want to thank you guys, and Coach, as I told you before we got on air, if there's anything or any time that you'd like to come on the show and address any things or thoughts with your program, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Okay?
I appreciate you having us.
Family, one last tidbit of information. You know, we got to pay for this. Please go to Fat Larry Podcast at gmail.com to email me any concerns that you had about the show, and also go to fatlarry.com to buy your hoodie. Okay, we got all different sizes and colors. fatlarrypodcast.com. We also have t-shirts available. Sports Talk with Fat Larry. Coach, you may have seen Coach Hoop over there wearing one of these. She sweet talked me out. Okay, so go to fatlarrypodcast.com and look for your t-shirt. Okay, it would greatly help the program. So with that being said, I want to wish everyone a good weekend. This is upcoming Sunday is going to be Mother's Day weekend. So make sure if your mom is still here, you tell her that you love her. Peace out.